everybody, welcome back to my channel, Makeup with B. Today is a really exciting video because I'm going to be trying out the new MECCA Max range from MECCA Maxima, and I'm just so excited. I've got a box chock full of all of their goodies and I just cannot wait to try everything out. I didn't get everything in the range, but I did get quite a bit, so I will definitely let you know throughout the video which things aren't MECCA Max, but there is a lot of stuff in here. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to my channel and don't forget to press the bell button so you get notified of new videos. Okay, so I have primed my eyes with some concealer and some setting powder. I actually forgot to pick up a concealer from the MECCA Max range, so I just used my NARS Creamy Concealer. Set that down with a bit of setting powder, and now I'm going to go straight on into the eyes. And the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using is the MECCA Max Euphoria Vivid Impact Eye Palette. Now, can we just take a moment for this packaging? Look how amazing that packaging is. It's got the 2M detailing, the gold MECCA Max logo, and on the inside, there are these gorgeous shades. So some really beautiful plum tones down this end, getting warmer into some bronzes. There are a lot of shimmer shades in this palette, so I am going to be pretty careful with today's eye look. And because I haven't used them before, I wasn't sure of the fallout, so that's why I'm going to be starting off with my eyes first. So in this palette, the shades don't actually have any names, so I'm just going to be pointing out and describing to you which shade I'm going to be using each time. So first off, I'm going to be going into this creamy setting powder, and I am just going to be setting the rest of my eyes so that it is all in one colour, and it's going to start blending really nicely. First impressions of this matte cream eyeshadow, and it's a really creamy consistency. For today's look, I'm going to be doing a bit of a halo eye. So I'm going to be concentrating on my outer third and my inner third and creating a really nice crease also with a bright pop in the middle. And the shades that I'm going to be focusing on are going to be these plum shades down here. But for my crease, I'm going to be going into this middle shade, which is a matte kind of rosy orangey color. I would say with this palette that there aren't a lot of mattes in it, which makes carving out the crease a little bit more difficult, because obviously you don't want to be doing that with a shimmer shade. I mean, you can, but oops, just dipped my brush into the wrong color. Ooh. With this matte shade, again, there isn't a lot of fallout either, which is really great. Okay, so now I've built up that crease color. So on a denser brush, I'm going to be taking this purple shade here, and I'm going to be popping that on the inner third and the outer third of my eye. I am also going to take it really lightly in my crease. Not a lot of color is coming off of the brush onto my eye, so I might try it with my finger on the other eye. Hard for me to do it with my finger because I've got really long nails, but it does work better with the finger, I would say, when you apply it with the, heaps more color when you apply it with your finger, which isn't really an option for me because I have really long nails. So I'm just gonna do my best with the brush. I've got to say though, this mixture of color with that creamy pink in the crease and then this really light purple over the top is just looking like a really beautiful kind of like sunsetty eye. It's really nice. But we are going to deepen it up with the darkest purple here, more of like a plum, and I'm going to be concentrating that on the outer corner and the inner corner of the eye. So just going in with a more defined brush. I'm going to be packing that on and getting as much colour as I can. Yeah, they just really don't work that well with a brush. So I'm just going to slightly connect, and as you can see from that darker shade, there is a lot of fallout. So I'm very glad that I haven't already done my foundation. I think that's about as much colour as I'm going to get. Don't get me wrong, the colours are beautiful. I don't know, I just wish it was a little bit easier to build up. Now with a clean blending brush, I'm just gonna go over everything and make sure there's no harsh lines. Now for the middle, first off, I think I'll put a layer of this beautiful lilac, and if that's not doing anything for me, I might put the white over the top. I'm going to spray this brush. This is a Zoeva 232 Classic Shader brush, and I'm just going to pop some MAC Fix Plus on it, just so that I can get a real pop of colour in the centre of my eye. So going in with the lightest lilac. I mean, it's okay. It's giving me a nice subtle pop of colour, but I want to go in a bit more. I'm going to go over with the white to really make it pop. Now, just to make sure that there's more of a gradient, I'm just going to blend it a little bit with a clean brush, just so the darker colours aren't so stark on the eye. I'm going to clean up the edges and pop my eyebrows on, and I will be right back. So overall, I am happy with the look that I have created with the palette. The colours in here are beautiful, but for me there isn't enough range. See, these two come out exactly the same, and so do these two. So really beautiful, really nice and creamy. The fallout is a bit of an issue, so make sure that you do your eyes before you do your foundation. So it's a bit of a mix for me. I'm torn because I really love the colours, but at the same time there isn't enough range, and I wish there were a few more mattes in there as well. This palette retails for $45. For that amount of money, you are getting really good quality eyeshadows. So now on to the rest of the makeup. I am going to start off by priming my face with the MECCA MAX Oh My Matte Mattifying Primer. Oh, it's quite thick. Struggling to like rub it on my face because it's really thick. But this primer, oh my goodness, this is really hard to put on your face. Maybe it's just because it's really cold. Maybe I'll warm it up a little bit more on my hands. No, it's still really hard to like spread over the skin, which is really unusual, but that's okay. It keeps me matte, doesn't matter. Oh, and it dries down really smooth. Okay, so this primer is actually coming off. Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that. I might zoom you guys in. Can you see that it's like flaking off? Oh my gosh, especially on my nose. You see that line there? It's literally just bunching up on my skin and falling off. Okay, so I'm not a fan of this and I'm taking it off my face right now. Okay, so I've taken that primer off and I've popped on my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what happened with that matte primer. It just started flaking off on my skin. And I just looked in the mirror and you can even see it on my top. You can see like little flakes of my skin where it's fallen off. It was just the weirdest thing ever. So yeah, that primer is a definite dud for me, but that's okay. There's still lots of things to try. The first being the MECCA MAX Beauty Bullets. So it comes in this really cute little pop container, and I love this shape for beauty sponges. They just find you get really like precise bits so you can get right into that corner, but it's also got this beautiful open edge here that you can just do the rest of your face. I'm just going to pop this under the sink to make it nice and damp. Okay, so I just tried to get this to soak up some water under the sink, and I went onto the website and it doesn't actually say that you're supposed to wet it, so that's my bad. So it is a little bit damp, but I think that'll be okay. It's not like a regular beauty sponge or a beauty blender where it's going to really soak up the water and become really porous and kind of expand. It stays the same shape and doesn't retain water at all. So I'm going to try and dry it off as much as I can, and go ahead and pop some foundation on. Now, the foundation that MECCA MAX have come out with, called the Life Proof Foundation, is not, it doesn't dry down matte. It gives you a dewy natural finish, which I personally am not a fan of in foundations. So instead of buying the product, I got the sample so that I could try it out in this video. I am well aware that it's not going to give me that matte finish that I love, but I wanted to try it out anyway for you guys and give you my thoughts on the coverage and how easy it is to apply with their new beauty sponges. I am in the shade Ivory. There's absolutely no scent to this foundation, which is good. So on the website it says you're supposed to roll and dot. So I will see how this goes. Look, the sponge smells pretty bad. It smells like that silicone-y plastic smell. Doesn't that smell good? I feel like this has kind of sucked in a lot of my foundation, but the foundation itself is quite nice. So I blended in this side with my Real Techniques beauty sponge, and as you can see there's hardly any product on the sponge, whereas with the MECCA Beauty Bullet, look at all of that foundation. It's just completely gone off my face and onto the sponge. So I don't know if that's because I wet it first and you're not necessarily supposed to wet it, or I don't know. I'm just, yeah, not a fan of the sponge at all, and it smells really bad. It smells like fake plastic. Does not smell good at all. Because this foundation isn't full coverage, I'm going to pop another layer on. Now I'm going to go onto the MECCA Max Blur Veil in the shade Light. And I am going to set the rest of my face. Apparently this can be used either wet or dry. So it says if you want to use it dry, just use a big fluffy brush and tap it over as a setting. Or if you wanted to use it more as a foundation, you can pop a damp sponge in here and build up the coverage, which I think is really, really cool. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to set my face with a big fluffy brush. One thing that I forgot to mention with the eyeshadow palette is the mirror. Oh my gosh, the mirror is huge. And also on this product as well, look how big that mirror is. It's amazing. I love it when you get really, really great mirrors. So now my face is completely matte. I am gonna go on to shaping my face. One product that I particularly love are face palettes, especially ones that are this small and this handy and have this sort of layout. They have a contour, a highlight, and a blush. I just love this. For those of you who've watched a few of my very first YouTube videos will know that I'm obsessed with the sleek face palettes. And this really reminded me of those, and they just look like such a perfect shades for me. Beautiful cool toned contour shade, a nice light everyday highlighter, and a beautiful kind of corally pinky blush. So super excited to try these out. I'm gonna go in with my Sigma F40 contour brush. I'm gonna take that contour powder and lightly carve out my cheeks. Blending out really nicely. Just gonna put a bit of definition on my forehead as well before I go in with a little bit of bronzer. So now on to bronzer. I'm gonna be taking the Sunlit Skin bronzer in the shade Light. This is a more kind of warm tone, so perfect for bronzer. I'm really, really happy there was a clear distinction between the bronzer in the face palette and the single bronzers that you can buy. This one is clearly cool tone for that contour. This for really kind of lightening up the face, making you look really nice and tan. So again, I'm in the shade Light. As with all the other products, beautiful mirror. Taking this on my Sigma F25 brush and just lightly dusting it over my face. This is a matte bronzer, so for those of you who don't like those shimmery bronzers, this will definitely be a hit for you. So that is a really, really subtle kind of bronzing, which I really am a huge fan of because I'm quite fair. There are 3 different shades of bronzers, so I'm sure you'll be able to find one that matches your skin tone. Now going back into the face palette, I'm going to be taking the blush. Now this blush does have a bit of, I think it's got a bit of shimmer in it, which I'm always a fan of with blush. Oh wow, that is super pigmented. Make sure you've got like a really light hand and you build up the color that you want. I mean, if you want a really bright color, awesome, but if you want it to be a bit more muted, definitely go in with a really light hand first. I'm really loving this color, and I'm loving the sheen that it has. Look at that. So pretty. I am not going to go in with this highlighter because there are a few other ones that I want to give a go. So but I have to say, so far this is probably my favorite product that I've been trying. Now onto highlight. I'm going to go in with the Skin Halo Diamond Dust, and this is in white gold. In the pan it doesn't actually look that shimmery. It doesn't look like a highlighter to me. There's no glitter flecks, nothing like that. So we'll see how it looks on the cheeks. Oh, it's got a beautiful sheen on the cheeks. You can see that already. Wow. That's lovely. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Yes. Because I spent so much money, I think if you spend over $50 on the MECCA Max range, you get a free product. I got a illuminating primer, and I also got, when I went in store and purchased a little bit more, I also got the Skin Halo in rose gold. I'm actually going to use that as a blush topper and pop that over the top of my blush, just to give it a little bit of extra something something right here. And there we have it. Oh, loving the highlighters. Oh my gosh. So to finish off the look, we've got some mascara to try out and some lip products to try out. First off, I'm going to be trying the IMAX Volumizing Mascara. And it's in this beautiful gold packaging. I've got to say, throughout the whole range, the packaging is just spot on. Really on brand and just really, really beautiful. So very well done, MECCA. So this is a volumizing mascara, so we will see how it goes on my eyes. Okay, so I do really love this mascara. It's really filled in my lashes, gave them a nice boost. I'm still waiting for it to dry though, so it is quite wet, so I'm being very careful of my under eye. But overall, I'm really happy with the look. Now onto the lip products. So I actually purchased 4 lip products. The Shimmer Shot Lip Glitter in Trillionaire, the A-Lipster Liquid Lipstick in Skinny Latte, and the Girl Boss Lip Gloss in the shade It Girl. And lastly, the Pout Pop Lipstick in the shade, what shade is this? Reality Check. With the Pout Pop lipstick, it says it's sheer, and that is very true. I'm not really a fan of lipsticks that you can't tell are on your lips because I don't really see the point. It isn't particularly moisturizing or anything like that, so it's not like you can use it as a lip balm either. So I think that I will be looking into more of the darker shades because this is very neutral, but it barely shows up on my lips. So for the Shimmer Shot, oh my gosh, this is incredible. It is probably the most extra thing that you will ever put on your lips ever. I can't really think of an occasion where I would need to wear something this shiny on my lips, but it is quite gorgeous. It would be amazing for a festival, I think, to have that really glittery lips. Not sure of the staying power of this lip product, but if I go to a festival anytime soon, I will definitely try it out and let you know. Now this Girl Boss Lip Gloss, first of all, the name is so good. Girl Boss Lip Gloss is just, it's a genius name. I really, really love this lip gloss. It's really moisturizing, and I really love this color as well. It's a lot pinker than my natural lip color, so it shows up really nicely, really subtly. It's really beautiful, lasts a really good amount of time, pigmented, and also really, it's not sticky. You know how you can get some lip glosses that are really sticky and you hate wearing them? This isn't sticky at all. It's really, really comfortable, so I would definitely recommend these lip glosses. And the last lip product I have is the liquid lipstick. And I think this is what I'm going to be using for this look today. It's a really gorgeous rosy nude, and it's just really, really beautiful. It is a bit streaky. Even when you swatch it, you can see it's a little bit streaky, so make sure you go in with 2 coats, but it is just a really, really gorgeous color. I'm not sure if it dries down completely matte, but I will let you know once I popped it on my lips. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. How obsessed are you with this lip color? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I am really happy with this line of makeup. I am so impressed. Everything has gone really well. But overall, I think my favorite products are the highlighters, the face palette, and also the eyeshadow palette. I know I said I was a bit iffy on the eyeshadow palette, but just look at this eye look. I'm so obsessed. The colors are amazing. So good. I can't stop looking at my eyes. Also really happy with the liquid lipstick. It has dried down matte and it's really super comfortable. It doesn't feel really drying at all. So I'm excited to see how long it lasts. I would say out of the whole collection that I've tried, the only real dud was the Oh My Matte Mattifying Primer. That's probably the only thing that didn't work for me at all. Everything else has just been really nice. Oh, and also the Beauty Bullet that you can still smell it now, that smells really bad and soaked up most of my foundation. And not only are the products great, they're so affordable. I think the most expensive thing here was the eyeshadow palette, which was $45. I think that sort of quality for that price is it's just amazing, and it's so good, and it's really great that they've come out with a collection like this, because not all of us can afford to spend heaps and heaps of money on makeup. Not all of us get scent makeup. So I think it's going to really cater to a really wide audience. People first trying out makeup, people who've been using makeup for a long time and want to try something new. I just think it's really great. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!